Robert Sykora of Creative Independent Media, and my brief is to create some posters for a young up-and-coming indie band. But before I go on to what I've designed for them, I thought I'd show you, just reminders how powerful a poster is and what a poster is. So, have any of you really got in your head what a poster is? All posters fit into this definition. A poster is a visual means of mass persuasion. Now that's a strong concept. Similarly, a poster is a weapon of mass persuasion. So it's a visual means of mass persuasion, and it's a weapon of mass persuasion. It's actually probably the best weapon in the armoury of the marketeer is a poster. All posters have these ingredients in them, and whenever you're designing a poster about anything, including the ones I'm going to show you shortly, they'll have these 5 elements within them. They have to transmit a message, they have to have a high visual impact, they create an emotional response. This is very significant. They're designed to induce you to take action. You don't just look at it and go away. And they recruit you to the cause. They've all got a message and a cause of posters. So it's that old saying, one picture is worth 1,000 words. So just before I leave this, the reason I've put these up here is because these are posters from the cult of Mao Zedong, the Chinese Cultural Revolution. And these actually galvanised the youth of China at the time down a very firm funnel. And they all ended up doing it. It fitted all these 5. And there was something like 60, 70 million people were directly influenced by these posters and became a mass movement. That's how strong posters are when they're done properly. Right, so I'm going to show you how these principles I've just outlined I've used for this specific project. Now, these are the things I've come up with. What you've got here are examples of posters. So it's not loads of different images, these are specific posters that are well on the way to being finished. Now, this is a young band, the average age is 19. The brief is to create posters for them, and this is actually the most crowded marketplace there is, the most competitive marketplace there is. So the posters have really got to stand out amongst all the other posters. And how I thought I'd try and achieve this was a little bit like a very unusual, surreal, eye-catching element to the visual side of a poster. Because remember, that's what a poster is, a visual medium. And each because it's a band posters usually have a title. And what I wanted was these posters to be able to be have a second use for, say, the album cover or the DVD cover or other media. So I've had to come up with quite a diverse selection of ideas to present to the management of the group, and the group, the band themselves, and see what input we get. So we're just at that pre-meeting stage. So I'll run through them with you. This what I've been here is, by the way, all these images I have taken myself, so they're all unique. These 2 are of Docklands, and the theme I've got here is hanging with 10 floors, basically. So you see this industrial landscape, but you had a quirky bit to it, which is, here are the crane hooks, and here are the members of the band hanging off just hanging like this, you see. So that is very unusual in itself. I'm going to get some feedback whether they want stick people, because there's 4 of them, which is another line of impact, or whether to put actual photographs of themselves on. I'll just see what the feedback of that would be. So that's Hanging, that would be the name of the album. And there's 10 Floors. It's not necessarily going to be in these colours, it might be a bit muted into the background of the crane. We'll have to see it. This is a variation on it. What I was going to do there, which is a bit unusual, here's a hotel, and I've renamed it Hotel 10 Floors, because it's actually got 10 floors if you count them. It's hanging again, because it's an alternative to this, and there it is on the crane jib. But what I wanted to do to make it unusual, can you see these lamp posts here? And these have a little circular lamp head on them. And I was going to move them about a little bit so you could see them a bit clearer. But this little circular bit here is about the size of a human face. So I was going to propose we put 4 of these in, and their faces, one on the top of each post. So we're getting in that surreal, quirky look again. Because I can't emphasise enough how many good artists have been at this job for 30 years or so, and people get a bit blind to posters of bands. So we've really got to pull something out of the hat that's a bit different here. So that's these two. This one is called, their actual fuller name was 10 Floors Below Society. That's their fuller name, and they've abbreviated it to this one. So this Below Society, this is ground level, this is a paved area. And I thought, again, that in itself is different enough to catch the eye of a passerby in a shop window, say. So how to personalise it to the band is I've put the 4 faces in here of the band members, and again it's the same question to pose to them. Do they want their individual faces in, or do they want like a bit of a humorous caricature, or just like I've done here, an outline? Because sometimes this has more effect. Less, it's what they all say, less is more. It has more effect than photographs of people, because they see those all the time. So I quite like this one. There's the fag end, there's a bit of grass growing, there's a bit of chewing gum as well. So it's industrial scene, and they are a band from the north. They are a Huddersfield-based band. So that links that side of it in. Right, this one is a bit. This one is again something to try and stand out a bit. Oops, a bit differently. This is one of those old knights that you see in churchyards. So it's a stone face, quite a strong feature. Decided to call it stoned, which is a pun on words, obviously. 10 floors up there, but just to again add their little personal human touch to it, I was going to have it scrawled on here. You know, like prisoners in these old prisons scrawl things with a nail on the wall. So there's going to be that written up here, or across the head here, and it was going to say 10 floors was here, we had chips and curry, or we had curry and chips. Just something, again, a bit quirky. It's just see how they wanted to go for that. This one, again, chosen because it's very unusual. This is actually an 800-year-old door that still exists. This is proper Viking ironwork. It's not a reproduction. It's taken on the door. The door's original, so it's got an old look, but a very unusual